They thought they had me cornered. 5 against 1, a stack of papers, and a pen waiting like a loaded gun. But the second I counted them out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, their smug smiles cracked. I grinned and said the line that changed everything, "Funny how you brought an army, when I only needed one." My name is Emily, 29, a remote software developer who spent years debugging code and building firewalls. Skills that turned out to be perfect for spotting family betrayal. Growing up in a sleepy Portland suburb, I believed family dinners, rainy park walks, and Dad's awful puns about Python were forever. My father, Michael, was the steady type, senior dev at a mid-size firm, drove the same reliable Subaru until the wheels begged for mercy, always paid bills early. He taught me compound interest before I could drive and showed me how living below your means buys freedom. Mom, Claire, wanted more. Flashier cars, bigger house, envy-inducing trips posted for likes. By the time I was 16, their fights over money had turned nuclear. Oregon's equitable distribution laws meant splitting assets fairly, but fair looked very different depending on who you asked. Dad ended up keeping what he'd earned post-split, plus his retirement accounts. Mom remarried fast. Mark, a slick mortgage broker with a taste for luxury listings. She gained 2 stepkids, Lily and Noah, and a glossy feed full of blended family goals. I rarely appeared in any of it. Dad and I built our own quiet world in a cozy apartment near the river. We'd order Thai takeout, binge sci-fi shows, and talk about life without the pressure of appearances. He'd say, "Real security isn't in what you own, it's in what no one can guilt you out of." I didn't realize he'd been quietly strengthening his estate plan, naming me sole beneficiary on everything non-community, adding no contest clauses, consulting lawyers to block pressure tactics. Then came the fog-drenched night on Highway 26. A trucker fell, asleep at the wheel. Dad never made it home from a late deployment. The call came at 2:17 a.m. My world narrowed to static. The memorial was understated. Co-workers, a few old friends, me clutching his favorite mug like a lifeline. Mom arrived in designer morning attire, tears theatrical, Mark and the teens trailing behind like reluctant extras. She hugged strangers and spoke of our loss. I stood by his photo thinking, you mourned the lifestyle, not the man. Days later, his lawyer, Rachel, sharp-eyed and no-nonsense, met me at a coffee shop near the courthouse. Dad had been meticulous, updated will, trusts for certain assets, clear intent that everything post-divorce was mine. The apartment, index funds, Roth IRA, modest stock portfolio from careful investing. Not extravagant, but earned honestly over decades. Rachel said, "He wanted you protected, Emily. Not pressured." Mom's text started politely, then turned insistent. We should discuss family fairness, college costs for Lily and Noah, how Dad would have wanted unity. When I mentioned the will and Rachel, she pivoted to guilt. All the years she sacrificed, how ungrateful I'd become. I saved screenshots, forwarded them to Rachel, stopped replying. Probate sailed through. Assets transferred. Silence for a week, then an email invitation to a private lunch at an upscale downtown spot to heal and find common ground. Private room. I forwarded it to Rachel with 3 words, "Will you come?" She replied instantly, "Try stopping me." I walked in alone first. Mom at the head, Mark beside her, Lily and Noah scrolling phones, and a polished attorney, Brandon, laptop glowing, thick document waiting. No menos. Just water glasses and legalese. Mom beamed, "We're here for closure, sweetheart." Brandon explained the amicable family accord. I'd voluntarily shift roughly 70% into a trust benefiting everyone. For harmony. Refusal, court challenges, delays, stress on your professional life credit. Complications. Mom added softly, "Don't make this difficult for the kids." I breathed, then spoke quietly, "Let's count. Mom 1. Mark 2. Lily 3. Noah 4. Brandon 5. Pause. That's a full team. Mom's smile froze. "Emily, stop playing games." I met her gaze. "I'm not. You brought backup. So did I." I sent the pre-typed text. Seconds later, the door opened. Rachel stepped in, briefcase in hand, voice level, "Claire." I understand you're discussing my client's inheritance. The air left the room. Mom's face drained of color. Mark muttered about next steps. Brandon packed up fast. They left in stunned silence. Rachel stayed. You did perfectly. They have no leverage. We walked out together, my knees still weak but my head high. For a few days, quiet. Then colder messages, disappointment, how money corrupted me, vague warnings about complications. I locked everything down. 2FA, credit freezes, password vault. Dad's old advice echoed, guard your access like your life depends on it. In the end, they backed off.
No lawsuit materialized.
The will held. I kept what Dad built for me. Sometimes family isn't blood, it's the people who protect your future instead of coveting it. And that one person I brought? She wasn't just a lawyer. She was justice walking through the door.